Hello, my dear friends. What if I told you a few simple, everyday movements could actually whisper secrets about how many strong, independent years you truly have left to enjoy? As a doctor who's had the privilege of walking alongside many of you for decades, I've noticed too often that we, especially those of us over 65, tend to brush off those little wobbles or struggles as just part of aging. But what if I told you these seemingly simple actions are actually powerful predictors of your future health, far more telling than you might imagine? The truth is, losing these basic abilities isn't just about feeling a bit slower. No, the research, and my own clinical experience, shows it's often a quiet, urgent warning sign that your body is facing bigger challenges, drastically raising your risk of falls, hospital stays, and, frankly, a shortened lifespan within just a few years. Most folks never see it coming, and their families are often left wondering why. But here's the powerful part. This isn't about running marathons. In this video, we'll dive into 7 incredibly simple, everyday movements directly linked to your longevity after 65, and I'll show you exactly what you can do about them. By the end, you'll not only discover which movements matter most, but also the hidden reasons doctors pay such close attention, and exactly how you can improve your odds, starting today, to keep living life on your terms. These insights could truly transform how you live your golden years. So, please, stay with me till the very end. You absolutely won't want to miss it. Before we dive in, I truly want to know how many of you have faced this. If what I just shared feels familiar, please comment a simple yes below. It shows me you understand, and it shows others they are not alone. Okay, let's get started. Movement number 1. Rising from a chair without using your hands. You know, my friends, it's funny how we often take the simplest things for granted, isn't it? Like just standing up from a chair. Many folks, as they get a little older, find themselves instinctively reaching for the armrests, giving a little push to get going. And for years, they'll tell me, "Oh, doc, it's just part of getting old." But as someone who's seen thousands of patients, I can tell you this seemingly small action, or the struggle with it, actually speaks volumes about your body's true condition. This simple act of rising smoothly from a seated position, without needing that extra boost from your hands, quietly reveals the true strength nestled in your legs, your hips, and that all-important core, the very center of your body's power. It even gives us a window into your sense of balance. Why is this so crucial for us as we age? Well, our bodies, bless them, aren't quite as forgiving as they once were. The wiring between our brains and our muscles, the nerves that tell everything to work together, can sometimes get a little slower, a little less sharp. When you start needing your hands, it's often the first subtle sign that this communication, this beautiful harmony in your body, is beginning to falter. This isn't just about feeling a little less spry. Oh no. When this movement becomes a real challenge, it can lead to bigger problems down the road. It increases your risk of those dreadful falls, which can mean more trips to the emergency room, longer hospital stays, and frankly, a much shorter leash on your independence and overall lifespan. Doctors have studied this for years, and the research is clear. Those who struggle here face a sharply increased risk for these outcomes. I often think about my friend, Mr. George, from Iowa. He's 79, a real salt-of-the-earth kind of guy. For a while, he just dismissed it when he noticed he needed to use his hands to get out of his favorite recliner. He thought, "Well, I'm almost 80. What do you expect?" But after we talked, and I explained that this wasn't just about normal aging, but a genuine red flag for his declining strength and balance, Mr. George decided to take action. He started with some gentle leg and core exercises, just a few minutes each day. And you know what? With time, he was able to rise without that support again. His confidence, his independence, and his whole outlook on life improved with it. So, don't let this one slip by. Try it now. Sit in a sturdy chair, cross your arms over your chest, and see if you can rise to a full stand without rocking or using your hands. If it feels tough, please, don't panic. Start practicing and consider having a chat with your doctor or a physical therapist. Just this one movement, practiced regularly, truly could grant you more years of life, better balance, and a renewed sense of independence. Movement number 2, standing on one leg for 10 seconds. Now, let's talk about another seemingly simple act that holds incredible power. Standing on one leg. And I mean standing still, without grabbing onto anything, for a full 10 seconds. This might sound like a playground game, but let me tell you, it's one of the most revealing movements when it comes to predicting how long we'll live and how well we'll live, especially after 65. This isn't just about showing off your great balance. Not at all. It's a complex dance that tests the subtle strength in your ankles, the stability of your hips, the firmness of your core, and even the tiny, intricate mechanisms within your inner ear. For us seasoned adults, the core why this matters so much is because it brings together so many different critical systems in your body. It's like a report card for how well your brain, your nerves, and your muscles are all communicating and working together. It also shows how strong those vital support muscles are, holding you steady against gravity. When these systems start to break down, your body simply can't keep you steady, even for a few seconds. And the symptoms? Well, it means a significantly higher risk of those dangerous falls, which can lead to fractures, a loss of confidence, and even a rapid decline in overall health. Doctors have observed, time and again, that seniors who can't maintain this pose for at least 10 seconds are much more likely to suffer these consequences. I recall my neighbor, Mrs. Eleanor, an elegant lady of 81 living in Ohio. She used to feel a bit wobbly whenever she tried to stand on one foot, especially when she was just putting on her socks in the morning. It was a small thing, but it bothered her. After she learned about the profound importance of this movement, she made it part of her daily routine, practicing standing on each leg, slowly counting to 10. Within a few weeks, Mrs. Eleanor noticed a remarkable change. She could balance longer, felt much surer of herself moving around the house, and her family, of course, was greatly relieved, as was she. This just goes to show you, take a moment now, stand near a countertop or a sturdy chair for safety, and see if you can balance on one foot for 10 seconds without help. If you need to grab something or can't quite make it, please don't be discouraged. Most people can improve their balance with practice, and I promise you, it is never, ever too late to start. By building up this simple skill, you are investing in more years of strength, confidence, and, truly, a more vibrant life. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you do not miss any of our future videos. Your support truly helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Movement number 3, climbing a flight of stairs without stopping. All right, let's talk about something many of us encounter every single day. Stairs. Being able to walk up a set of stairs, say to the second floor of your home, or to visit a friend, without pausing, without clutching the rail for dear life, or feeling completely winded when you reach the top, is one of the very best real-world tests of your heart, your lungs, your leg muscles, and your overall stamina. For a long time, doctors have used stair climbing as a quick and telling way to judge whether a senior is aging healthily, or if they're quietly struggling with underlying issues that could genuinely shorten their life. The simple explanation here is that it measures your heart's ability to pump blood efficiently, your lungs' capacity to deliver oxygen to your working muscles, and your muscles' ability to respond and endure under pressure. As we get older, our cardiovascular system and muscle reserves naturally start to diminish. If your body struggles with this fundamental task, it's a clear sign that these vital systems aren't keeping up. That why is so important, because it indicates your body's reserves are running low. A silent warning that health troubles, like heart issues or general frailty, may be closer than you think. The symptoms, of course, are feeling out of breath, having to stop, or just avoiding stairs altogether. Research clearly shows that the inability to comfortably climb just one single flight of stairs is closely linked with higher rates of heart disease, frailty, and, unfortunately, an earlier passing. I often think of Mr. Arthur, 75 years old, from Georgia. For years, he simply avoided the stairs in his own home, always opting for the elevator or asking for help when visiting friends in apartment buildings. It was just easier, he thought. But after his daughter, a nurse, mentioned how doctors often use stair climbing as a true marker for longevity, Mr. Arthur decided he needed to make a change. He started small, with just a single step, resting when he needed to. Slowly, steadily, he worked his way up to climbing a full flight without stopping. The result? He felt so much more energetic, less short of breath, and his doctor even noticed real, measurable improvements in his blood pressure and blood sugar. If you have stairs at home, please use them as your personal test. See if you can walk up them at a steady pace without leaning heavily on the rail or needing to stop for breath. If it feels impossible, or if you feel dizzy or weak, that's your cue to talk to your doctor about a safe plan to rebuild your strength. Every step you reclaim is another chance at a longer, healthier, more independent life. Movement number 4. Getting up from the floor without assistance. Few things reveal your true physical condition after 65, quite like your ability to get up from the floor on your own. Whether you sit down intentionally to play with grandkids, or, heaven forbid, take an unexpected tumble, being able to rise without help from another person or a sturdy piece of furniture is an incredibly powerful marker for your core strength, your flexibility, your coordination, and your sheer resilience. Why does this matter so much for older adults? As we age, our bones can become a bit more brittle, our muscles less responsive, and our balance less reliable. Getting up from the floor is a complex movement. It's not just about brute muscle power. It tests the integrated strength of your hips, your knees, your core, and even your mental focus under stress. When this ability starts to fade, it's a clear signal that the body's major muscle groups are not working together as they should, making you vulnerable. The symptoms are not just the obvious struggle to get up. It's the deeper fear of falling that sets in, causing many to limit their activities, which ironically only leads to a faster decline. Studies show that seniors who lose this ability face a dramatically higher risk of losing their independence and, ultimately, of an earlier passing within 5 years. This loss isn't just an inconvenience. It's one of the clearest signs that your body is in trouble. I remember my friend, Mr. William, who's 77 and lives in North Dakota. A few winters ago, he slipped while picking up his newspaper. He found himself on the floor, unable to stand up without crawling to a bench and painfully hauling himself up. It scared him, and it certainly scared his family. That day, his doctor explained just how vital that movement was. Mr. William committed to some simple stretches and strength exercises, and over time, he regained the ability to get up without help. The confidence and profound sense of control it gave him were absolutely priceless. If you can, try this now. Gently lower yourself to the floor, then see if you can stand up without grabbing for furniture or asking for help. If you find it difficult, please don't be discouraged. Most people can improve significantly with regular practice, gentle stretching, and the guidance of a physical therapist, if needed. Every time you reclaim a bit of this mobility, you are taking back control of your future. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Movement number 5. Carrying groceries or a laundry basket across the room. All right, let's talk about something incredibly practical. Something many of us do without a second thought. Picking up and carrying a moderately heavy object. I'm talking about a full grocery bag, a basket of clean laundry, or maybe a small box, and just walking it across your kitchen or living room. This might sound almost too simple to be a predictor, but let me tell you, it's a vital sign of your true functional strength. This movement, believe it or not, tests your grip, your arm and shoulder strength, your core stability, your back muscles, and your legs, all at once. For us older adults, the core, why? This is so important is because it shows that your body's big muscle groups are still working together in harmony. Your heart and lungs are efficiently keeping up with the demand, and your balance remains steady even while you're in motion. When this movement becomes difficult, it's a clear signal that your body's integrated strength is waning, making everyday life harder. The symptoms are obvious: struggling to carry things, having to make multiple trips, or simply avoiding tasks that involve lifting. And sadly, research shows that when this ability diminishes, everyday life gets harder, and the years ahead can become shorter. Seniors who lose this ability are much more likely to struggle with daily living, lose their independence, and face an increased risk of hospital stays and earlier mortality. I think of my friend, Mrs. Patricia, 81 years old, living in Michigan. She used to pride herself on carrying in her own groceries, sometimes 2 bags at once. But after a tough winter illness, she noticed it was suddenly a real struggle just to pick up a full shopping bag and walk across her kitchen without feeling unsteady. Mrs. Patricia's doctor told her this loss of strength and stamina was more than just an inconvenience. It was a red flag for overall decline. With encouragement and a simple at-home strength program tailored to her, Mrs. Patricia slowly but surely rebuilt her ability. And with it, her confidence and her precious autonomy returned. So, take a moment and see if you can lift a grocery bag or a basket of towels and walk it across the room with steady steps and good posture. If it feels unsafe or you feel unsteady, that's a clear message from your body. Start with lighter loads and shorter distances, and please ask your doctor or a physical therapist for tips to build back up safely. With a little time and persistence, you can reclaim this essential skill, and in doing so, give yourself a better shot at staying active, independent, and well. Movement number 6. Turning your head fully from side to side. Here's one that often gets overlooked, but it's incredibly important for both independence and safety as we age. The ability to smoothly and comfortably turn your head left and right, looking over each shoulder, without pain or stiffness. You know, many of us just assume our necks will always work. But this simple movement checks not just the flexibility of your neck, but also connects to your balance, your coordination, and your overall awareness of your surroundings. For older adults, the core why this matters is profound. When you lose this movement, your world quite literally shrinks. You might start avoiding driving because you can't check blind spots, or you might become fearful of crossing the street because you can't see oncoming traffic easily. This leads to a cascade of symptoms: less driving, less socializing, or even being afraid to go outside. All of these things can sadly speed up decline and lead to social isolation. Doctors and studies have linked these issues to a shorter life expectancy. Seniors who lose the ability to turn their head fully, often due to arthritis, muscle tightness, or even some neurological issues, are at a much greater risk for falls, accidents, and yes, that very isolating feeling. My neighbor, Mr. Robert, who's 78 and lives in Missouri, always took his neck for granted. Until one day, he realized he could no longer turn to check for cars before crossing the street. That loss of range made driving, walking, and even simple conversations more challenging because he couldn't comfortably look at the person next to him. With his doctor's encouragement, Mr. Robert started doing gentle neck stretches and posture exercises every morning. And within a couple of months, he regained much of his range of motion, and with it, a new sense of security and freedom moving through his daily life. So, try this now. Sitting tall in a chair, turn your head slowly to the left and then to the right, aiming to look over each shoulder. If you feel tightness or pain, please don't force it. Start with gentle daily movements and ask your doctor or a therapist for safe stretching routines. Every degree of motion you keep is another tool for staying independent, alert, and living longer. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Movement number 7. Reaching both arms overhead comfortably. Finally, let's talk about the last movement, one that is so basic, so deeply tied to our everyday independence, that you might not even realize its importance until you lose it. Raising both arms straight up over your head without pain or severe limitation. Think about it. Whether you're reaching for a can of soup in the cupboard, hanging up a coat, or simply waving to a friend across the street, this motion is a quick snapshot of your shoulder, your spine, and your upper back health. For us older adults, the core why this is so vital is because it's essential for countless self-care tasks. When this ability diminishes, life narrows quickly. It can signal underlying issues like arthritis, rotator cuff injuries, spinal problems, or general muscle loss. The symptoms are clear: struggling to get dressed, to style your hair, or to reach for things. This can lead to a loss of confidence, greater dependence on others, and a higher risk of frailty and mortality over the next few years. If left unaddressed, these small limitations can spiral into larger health problems. I want to share the story of my friend, Mrs. Margaret, who is 83 and lives in Arizona. One day, Mrs. Margaret noticed that reaching for her favorite cereal on the top shelf became a real struggle. It started with mild stiffness, but soon she needed help just to get dressed or to comb her hair. After seeing her doctor, she learned that this movement is a crucial test of joint health, flexibility, muscle strength, and even nerve function. With daily stretching, gentle resistance exercises, and a little patience, Mrs. Margaret slowly regained most of her mobility, and with it, those simple joys of doing things for herself once again. So, please sit or stand and see if you can lift both arms all the way up, keeping them close to your ears. If you feel a sharp catch or simply cannot get them up, that is your cue to start a gentle range of motion and strengthening exercises. Ask your doctor or a physical therapist for help if needed. By working to restore this simple movement, you are fighting for your autonomy, your dignity, and, according to research, even for your years on this earth. My dear friends, as we wrap up this important conversation about these 7 simple movements, the ones that could predict your future more accurately than any blood test, I truly hope you're feeling more aware of your own abilities. And even more than that, I hope you're feeling more determined than ever to protect them. Let's think back to all the stories we shared today, from Mr. George in Iowa, who regained his confidence just by getting up from a chair, to Mrs. Eleanor in Ohio, who found her footing again simply by practicing standing on one leg, or Mr. Arthur in Georgia, who reconquered his own staircase. Each story, every single one, is a living testament. Every movement we've discussed, it's not just a medical test. Oh no. It's a sign of life, of the independence we cherish, and of the freedom to truly enjoy your golden years on your own terms. You might have found that one or more of these movements are a challenge for you right now. If so, please, absolutely do not lose heart. The most important message I want you to carry with you today is this: decline is not inevitable. It's not. With the right awareness, with a little effort, and sometimes with a bit of professional help from your doctor or a physical therapist, you can absolutely regain lost abilities. You can buy yourself more years of health, more joy, and more meaningful connections. Start today. Choose just one movement you feel needs the most attention and gently work on it each day. Listen to your body. Seek support when you need it. And please, celebrate every single bit of progress, no matter how small. Because every step forward, no matter how tiny, is a victory. It's not just a victory for your physical health, but it's a victory for your self-confidence and for your peace of mind. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.